The air hangs heavy with the scent of decay and fear as Clifford Steingraff recounts the events that followed their return to Willowbrook. Haunted by the whispers of a pestilence that continues to cling to the village, the party is tasked with eradicating the disease it threatens to consume everything in its path. We return to Willowbrook, its streets eerily silent save for the distant moans of unseen diseased zombies.
There may be survivors barricaded in these houses.
Our journey through the village was fraught with danger. 3 whites, 2 diseased zombies, and a giant wolf spider challenged our every step. To contain the pestilence, I laid my hands upon several fallen foes, curing their festering bodies. My power waned, leaving me no choice but to apply the king's ointment to the remaining corpses. We then systematically searched each dwelling, seeking survivors. In one house, we found an elderly woman locked inside with a small boy. She told us her son, a young man, had traveled to Strathmore, leaving her and his son behind. We realized this was the mother of the peasant who had accused us of negligence before the king. Unable to fight the zombies alone, he sought help from the king. He boarded up the house and left.
Clifford, treat the lady with the ointment as a precaution.
No. We should use it on the undead to prevent the disease from spreading.
She is alive. This could save her life.
Our duty is to stop the plague, not save peasants. There are more lives at stake if this spreads than a single old woman.
Let's continue searching the buildings.
Wraith is right. Once we clear the village, we will know how many living and dead there are. Perhaps we will have enough ointment as it is.
We continued our search, finding no more survivors. But the silence of the village was deceptive. Fungal beasts, emboldened by the stillness, had begun to emerge from a nearby cabbage field. We fought them back, cleansing the village of all remaining undead. Only the grandmother and her grandson remained. Before departing for Strathmore, we burned the bodies littering the streets, a final act of purification. Sir Davian insisted we take the old woman and boy with us to reunite them with the peasant. A week later, we arrived in Strathmore. Wraith, with his penchant for vanishing, decided to stay outside the throne room.
Your Majesty, we have purged the lingering pestilence from Willowbrook and ensured the safety of its few remaining souls.
You have done well, Sir Davian. And you, Clifford, have proven yourself a capable asset, despite your checkered past. What reward would you have for your service to Strathmore?
The cult occupied Ravenscroft Keep for some time, preparing their assault on Willowbrook. Had the keep been kept in good order, perhaps this all could have been avoided. I have pulled the deed, and the keep was granted to Lady Aveline, whose spirit haunted the halls and no heirs have made claim. Perhaps I could restore it to its former glory if I were granted the deed to the land.
No sooner had the words left my mouth than a haughty voice rang out from the back of the court. A nobleman, tall and imposing in his finery, strode forward, his every step radiating an air of entitlement. I, Lord Percival Worthington, am a direct descendant of Lady Aveline, he declared, his voice echoing in the sudden silence. The keep is rightfully mine by lineage, and I will not see it fall into the hands of some upstart exile. I countered that the keep had clearly been abandoned, its defenses in ruins and overrun with cultists. Worthington, his face reddening, insisted that he had recently dispatched workers to begin restorations. I sensed this man was lying, but I needed proof. I intended to expose him by pointing out the flaws in his logic. This would be an interesting debate. Clifford's journal goes into great detail, recording every word of his heated debate with the nobleman. He meticulously underwrites words, makes notes in the margins, pointing out the subtle inconsistencies in Worthington's claims. Clifford reveals how Worthington is caught in a web of lies, and the situation takes a dramatic turn. Worthington's composure shattered. With a roar of fury, he drew a wicked blade, its surface pulsing with the telltale green glow of the pestilence. "You meddle in matters beyond your understanding," he screamed, lunging at us. The king, his voice trembling with shock and rage, called for his guards. But the court had been infiltrated. In a heartbeat, chaos erupted as half the guards turned on their comrades, blades clashing in a flurry of betrayal.
This complicates the claim on the manor.
I struck Worthington with my warhammer, but he was protected by armor beneath his robes. Sir Davian rallied the remaining guards against noblemen. Mads, with his uncanny aim, felled Worthington, and the traitorous guards instantly ceased their attacks. Worthington had used some form of mind control in his attack. With the threat contained and Worthington's treachery laid bare, I turned to King Frostbane.
Your Majesty, concerning the matter of Ravenscroft Keep.
For your valor in defending the crown and exposing this treachery, I, King Frostbane, do hereby grant you Ravenscroft Keep. Furthermore, you shall be known as Baronet of Willowbrook, tasked with restoring order to that blighted land. Families seeking a fresh start will be sent from Strathmore to rebuild. See that they are protected.
Your Majesty, even as we cleanse the rot within, we cannot forget the storm gathering beyond our borders. Thurian.
A storm best weathered once our own house stands strong. And Irithiel whips ill winds from the south, pulling my attention away.
The Sundered lands have never known true peace, only brief lulls between squalls.
Then see that you are the calm amidst it, Knight of Stone. Root out this cult, for every victory bolsters us against whatever comes next.
As Baronet of Willowbrook, I hired and dispatched several men to protect the village and the keep until I could make more robust arrangements. We sought refuge and information at the Inn of the Last Rest to heal our wounds and speak with Erevan Nightwhisper. A mousy little man stood beside him.
This man has been in the sewers and there's something wrong down there. He'll show you the entrance.
The little man led us to the sewer entrance, where we encountered 2 Otyugs rummaging through trash and 3 giant alligators. The sewers were a haven for vagrants, their tents and scraps scattered throughout. We pressed onward, the darkness of the tunnels engulfing us. Clifford concludes this entry. I did not know what happens after we leave the sewers. Would there be clues and we go to the next destination? Do we go back to Strathmore? Would I go to my new home? Is that even my home? All I can do is walk forward into these sewers, deeper into the darkness of my future.